I was recruited heavily by John DuPont for Team Foxcatcher. So I know some of the guys that they talk about, because it's the first time amateur wrestlers had money waved in their faces. Mark Schultz and Dave Schultz were making they're making $80,000 as an amateur wrestler at that time. Amateur wrestlers didn't see money. You're lucky to be. I was an assistant wrestling coach at Arizona State. I made $3,200 a year, not $80,000. $3,200. That's a big difference right there. And I wasn't half bad at what I did.
Well, maybe one day we'll see a Dan Severn movie, I hope.
I have people talk to me about it. And then literally, should there be one for what I've done, at the ages I've done it? I started amateur wrestling in the 60s, 1969. So think about this. I've been in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, 2010 plus. Oh, I'll be around for 2020 plus. I'll be submission grappling at that point in time. There's 7 decades of competition alone. Who else is going to ever top that? And I'll have more title belts to add to the collection. I'll be in the Masters division out there, going out there with my cane and the whole 9 yards. It's a very blue-collar sport.
It is.
Because it's... When I go and teach an amateur wrestling clinic, I know how I have to price myself. Now when I go and do a mixed martial arts one, I can charge 4 to 6 more times, and they will gladly pay for that in the mixed martial arts world. But the thing is, I'm teaching way more complicated stuff here. I have to water everything down for most of these people. They don't understand wrestling. But what I like is I've been given credit for being the guy to open up the floodgates to all these other wrestlers that now invade mixed martial arts. Because when you look at 9 out of the top 10 guys per weight class, what is their background? Wrestling. It's good to, if I take a wrestler, not just a guy that just was 1 or 2 years, but a guy that accomplished something on a high school basis, collegiate basis, or international basis, there's a work ethic and there's a mindset. I used to referee matches at Arizona State, Michigan State. 2 guys so closely skilled, they're getting frustrated. All of a sudden, it's like, they break out fisticuffs. I'll go, oh, now you just give a wrestler green light to punch someone. Ground and pound is very easy. Double leg down. They pull guard. Guard, hammer strike, I counter. I like the elliptical machine because it's easy on the knees. I do a lot of rowing. What I like about the rowing machine, it hits a lot of different muscle groups. And I use the rowing machine like no one else I've used it because I do this routine. It's only for 15 minutes, but every 100 reps, the way I grab the bar differently on the bar, I'm working my muscles differently. Wrestlers, they want pulling strength. Because you think, what's a single? What's a double? What's a cradle? I want to pull things from lat pull downs, seated pulls, upright rowing. And you still want to do things for your legs. You want to do leg extension, leg curls, squats, stuff like this because it chambers, but you got to do core. I developed programs back in the mid-70s that most college programs follow today. No one needs to go to a gym. Most people are just lazy. They need the camaraderie of doing that. I can drive down the road and I'll be driving, I carry a squeeze ball with me. That I work, but most people just squeeze like this. I squeeze between fingers. I work toward my hands are powerful hands. Because you want to have good gripping power and stuff like this. So, but just do a nice stretch. Just go in there and flex your hands, flex your pecs, flex your ass. But not just flex and hold. Do this from here, extension out, switch right back on in, and then literally you'd be surprised if you've done 10 or 15, you'll feel a burn like you never felt before. Next day you'll feel it because most people are they're in bad shape.
Well, the truth is you definitely had a positive influence, whether you're an American kid or a Canadian kid watching UFC, and I want to thank you for bringing amateur wrestling into the UFC because that's what got me hooked as a fan.